My precious child, stay still for just a moment and listen to the whisper within the silence. I know the path you have been walking has been scorched by the sun of hardship and chilled by the winds of isolation. I see you. I have seen you sitting in the darkness of your room, staring at a screen, searching for a sign, a word, or a glimmer of hope that feels real. You have felt like a wanderer in a vast, dry wilderness, wondering if your voice even carries past the ceiling of your own exhaustion. I want you to know that I hear your sighs before they even leave your lips. I know the exact weight of the burden that has been pressing down on your shoulders, making every step feel like a mountain climb. You have been carrying things you were never meant to carry alone, and I know that in your heart, you feel like you are on the very verge of letting go. But I am here to tell you, do not let go of hope, for I have already taken hold of you. This message is not a coincidence. It is not the result of a cold machine or a random sequence of numbers. This is a divine appointment, a handwritten letter whispered from my heart to yours at the exact second you needed to hear my voice to survive. Stop your search, my beloved, for the search ends here, in this sacred space we are sharing together. I have watched you scroll through endless noise, looking for something to quiet the storm inside you. And I have led you here because I have something specific, something urgent, and something life-changing to say to your bleeding heart. Do not turn away, and do not let the distractions of this world pull you from my presence. For what I am about to speak is written specifically for you. Before I reveal the immense blessing I am moving into your life, I want you to signal your readiness to receive it. If you feel my presence touching your spirit right now, like this video and subscribe to join this divine family of believers. This is your act of faith, a way to tell the heavens that you are listening and that you are ready for the miracle I have prepared. Type, "I am here, Lord," or 7007 in the comments right now to open the gates of heaven and claim your place in this conversation. Do not let this letter pass you by, for it is the key to the door you have been knocking on for so long. I know you have felt the sting of disappointment and the exhaustion of a soul that has been fighting for too long without seeing the victory. You have asked me in the middle of the night, why me and why now? You have felt like you were falling apart. But I am here to tell you that you are not falling apart. You are falling into my purpose. Every tear you have shed has been collected in my bottle, and every prayer you thought went unanswered was actually being used to build the foundation of your future. I am the potter, and though the pressure of the clay feels like it might break you, I am only shaping you into a vessel of honor. But my child, do you know why the weight has been so heavy lately? Do you know why the fire has felt so hot and the silence so deafening? There is a profound reason for the struggle you have endured, a reason that reveals who you truly are in my eyes and what I am preparing you to receive. The answer I am about to give you will change everything you thought you knew about your pain. Stay with me, for I am about to pull back the veil and show you the beauty I have been crafting in the secret places of your life. Your restoration begins the moment you realize I have never left your side. My beloved child, I want you to take a deep, long breath and let the tension leave your weary frame. For I have been watching you more closely than you could ever imagine. I see the invisible weight you carry, the kind that doesn't show up on a scale but bends your soul until you feel you might snap. I see the bags under your eyes that you try so hard to conceal with a forced smile or a bit of makeup. I see you in the mirror every morning, carefully fixing your hair and adjusting your clothes, not just to look presentable, but to construct a mask of strength so that the world won't see how close you are to breaking. I see the way your hands slightly tremble when you think no one is looking, and I hear the heavy sigh that escapes your lips the moment you find yourself alone. You have been running on empty for so long that you've forgotten what it feels like to be truly rested. You have become a master at pretending you have it all together. But I am the one who looks past the mask and into the depths of your tired heart. I know that beneath that brave exterior, there is a child who is simply exhausted from being strong for everyone else. I have been there in those late hours of the night when the world is silent. But your mind is a storm of what-ifs and how-tos. I have watched you stare at the ceiling for hours, your heart racing with the pressure of bills, the tension in your family, and the crushing expectations of those who rely on you. You feel like a pillar that everyone leans on, but you wonder who is there to lean on when the pillar starts to crack. I see the quiet desperation in your soul when you look at your bank account, when you look at your relationships, or when you look at your own body and feel the physical toll that stress has taken. I see the way you swallow your own needs to make sure others are fed, cared for, and comforted. You have poured yourself out like water onto dry ground, and now you feel parched, wondering if anyone even notices the sacrifice you make every single day. I want you to know today that nothing has gone unnoticed. Every moment you chose to be kind when you were hurting, every time you worked through the pain, and every night you stayed up worrying about the future. I was there, counting every heartbeat. You have been asking me in the secret places of your mind, "How much longer, Lord? How much more can I take before I collapse?" You feel like you are walking through a thick fog where every step requires a monumental effort, and the destination seems to be moving further away. This exhaustion is not just in your muscles, it is in your very bones. It is the weariness of a spirit that has been in a long season battle. But listen to my voice. Your weariness is not a sign of failure, nor is it a sign that I have abandoned you. It is the evidence that you have been fighting a battle that is far greater than you realize. You have been carrying the weight of a legacy, the weight of breaking cycles, and the weight of a calling that the enemy wants to extinguish through burnout. But I am the God who gives power to the faint and increases the strength of those who have no might. I am touching those tired eyes right now. I am soothing that racing heart. I am telling you that you don't have to carry the world on your shoulders anymore, because those shoulders were made for my yoke, which is easy, and my burden, which is light. My precious one, do not be ashamed of your tears or your tiredness. Even the strongest warriors need a place to lay their heads. I am that place. I have seen the nights you cried yourself to sleep, hoping that tomorrow would be different, only to wake up to the same heavy atmosphere. I see the way you try to find joy in the small things. But even that joy feels muted by the constant hum of anxiety in the background of your life. You are not falling behind in life. You are being carefully preserved. The reason the world feels so heavy right now is that I am transitioning you from relying on your own limited strength to resting in my unlimited power. The exhaustion you feel is the end of an old way of living. It is the labor pains of a new beginning. I am preparing to replenish everything the years of struggle have stolen from you. Rest in me tonight, for the shepherd of your soul does not slumber nor sleep. I have already gone ahead of you to level the mountains that are tiring you out. You are safe, you are seen, and you are deeply, infinitely loved in your weakness. I have seen you retreat into the quiet room of your own solitude, a place where the walls seem to echo with the questions you are too tired to ask. It is that space where the noise of the world finally fades, but the silence that replaces it feels heavy, almost suffocating. In those moments, you feel as though you are the only person on earth who truly understands the depth of your struggle. You look around and see others laughing, moving forward, and building lives that seem so effortless, while you feel anchored to a spot of loneliness that no one else can see. You have wondered if you have become invisible, if your presence even matters in the grand design of things. But my child, I want you to know that I am the inhabitant of your solitude. I am the silent guest in that room. When you feel the most alone, that is when I am most present, leaning in to hear the whispers of a soul that has no more words left to speak. I have seen every night you spent scrolling through your contacts, looking for a name to call, only to put the phone down because you didn't want to be a burden, or because you felt that no one would truly understand. I understand. I have always understood. I want you to do something for me right now, a small act of faith to reconnect with the truth of my presence. Place your hand over your heart in this very moment. Press it firmly against your chest and close your eyes. Do you feel that steady, rhythmic beat? That is not just a biological function. That is my pulse within you. That beat is my signature on your soul, a constant reminder that I am currently sustaining your life, breath by breath. As long as that heart is beating, my purpose for you is still in motion. It is a drumbeat of victory that the enemy cannot silence. Feel the warmth of your own life and realize that you are a living, breathing miracle. You are not a hollow shell. You are a temple filled with my spirit, even when you feel empty. This heartbeat is my way of saying, I am here. I am with you. I am not finished. Every time you feel the walls of loneliness closing in, place your hand there again and remember that you and I are connected by a bond that no distance or depression can ever sever. You are never truly alone in that room, because I am the very life flowing through your veins. I also know the sting of the empty seats at your table. I know the names of those who promised to stay, but walked away when the clouds turned gray. I saw the look in your eyes when you realized that the people you poured your life into were nowhere to be found, when you were the one who needed a drink of water. The betrayal you felt wasn't just a social disappointment, it was a wound to your very spirit. You asked me why I allowed them to leave, why I let your circle shrink until it was just you and the silence. My precious one, I allowed those doors to close because I was protecting you from voices that could not go where I am taking you. I was clearing the clutter of your life so that you could finally hear my voice without the interference of human opinions. Some people were only meant to be a chapter in your story, not the entire book. Do not mourn the loss of those who were not assigned to your future. I am the friend who sticks closer than a brother, the one who does not walk out when the fire gets hot. I am refining your circle so that the only thing left is the solid rock of my love and the few genuine souls I am bringing your way. This season of solitude is not a prison. It is a greenhouse. It is a place of forced growth where I am strengthening your roots because the fruit you are about to bear will be too heavy for a shallow soul to carry. You feel isolated because you are being consecrated. You are being set apart for something so significant that the common crowd would only distract you from the revelation I am pouring into you. The silence you hear is not my absence. It is my focus. I am focusing all of my attention on your healing, your restoration, and your preparation. Before I can manifest the public victory I have promised, I must first win the battle in the quiet room of your heart. I am teaching you how to be content with me alone, so that when the crowds eventually come to see the miracle of your life, you will never lose sight of where your strength truly comes from. Rest in the quiet, my child. Let the solitude be the womb of your destiny. I am here. I am holding you. And I am turning your loneliness into a holy encounter that will sustain you for the rest of your days. I know the weight of the words you have spoken into the darkness, only to hear nothing but the echo of your own voice coming back to you. You have knelt until your knees were sore. You have whispered until your throat was dry, and you have shouted into the void. Yet it felt as though the heavens were made of brass. I have seen the way you look at the stories of others, those who seem to receive their miracles instantly, and you wonder why your own sky remains so quiet. You have felt as though my ears were closed to your cries, or worse, that I have simply looked away. But my child, I need you to understand a divine truth. Silence is never absence. When I am silent, it is not because I am indifferent. It is because I am doing a work so deep and so intricate within you that words would only serve as a distraction. Silence is the atmosphere of the womb. It is the environment where the most miraculous life is formed in secret. Do not mistake the stillness for abandonment. You have often felt like you were shouting into an empty canyon. But I want you to know that every single word you have ever uttered in prayer is held in my hand. Not one syllable has fallen to the ground. You felt like my silence was a no, but often my silence is a wait, or I am building something better. If I answered every prayer the moment you asked it, you would never develop the spiritual muscles necessary to carry the weight of the blessing I am preparing for you. The silence is a construction site, not a prison. While you are waiting for the door to open, I am strengthening the hinges. While you are waiting for the mountain to move, I am training your feet to climb. You are being built in the quiet. You are not being ignored. You are being prepared for a level of glory that your current self could not yet sustain. Trust the process of the quiet, for the loudest breakthroughs often follow the longest silences. There have been moments when you felt that your faith was slipping because you couldn't feel me near. You reached out in the dark and felt only cold air. But I am not a God of feelings. I am the God of promises. My presence is not dependent on your emotions, even when you cannot hear my voice. My hand is still moving the chess pieces of your life into their perfect positions. Delay is not denial, it is divine shielding. There are things I have kept from you because you weren't ready to handle the responsibility. And there are paths I have blocked because I saw the lions waiting in the tall grass that you could not see. My silence is my protection. I am shielding your heart from premature success that would eventually lead to your downfall. I am waiting for your character to match the magnitude of the destiny I have whispered into your spirit. Do not let the enemy tell you that my silence means I have forgotten you. How could I forget the one whose name is engraved on the palms of my hands? How could I turn away from the child I bought with a price beyond measure? The very fact that you are still seeking me, even in the silence, is proof of the fire I have placed within you. That fire is what I am refining right now. I am burning away the dross of doubt and the wood of self-reliance. When you finally emerge from this quiet season, you will not be the same person who entered it. You will have a depth, a peace, and an authority that can only be forged in the waiting room of the soul. Keep speaking to me, my beloved. Even if you only have the strength to say my name, that is enough. I am listening. I am working. And the answer is already on its way through the corridors of time. You have asked me in the middle of the tempest, with the rain blinding your eyes and the thunder shaking your very foundation. Why is this happening to me? Why has the storm been so relentless? My precious one, I want you to look back at the intensity of the winds that have battered your life. Do not see them as a sign of my anger, but as a testimony to your value. The enemy does not waste his best weapons on those who pose no threat. A thief does not break into an empty house. He only targets the home where the gold is stored. The reason the storm has raged so fiercely against you is because of the immense treasure I have placed within your spirit. The devil doesn't chase dead souls, and he doesn't haunt empty hearts. He chases the fire within you. He attacks those who are on the verge of a massive spiritual breakthrough. The very anxiety you have felt, that crushing weight that makes it hard to breathe, is actually proof of the light you carry. If you are not a threat to the kingdom of darkness, the darkness would have left you in peace. The storm is not there because you are weak. It is there because you are dangerous to the shadows. I have allowed the winds to blow, not to destroy you, but to strip away the things that were keeping you grounded when I wanted you to soar. Many of the things you lost in the storm were actually anchors that would have prevented you from reaching the deep waters where my greatest blessings reside. I saw the struggle and I saw the pain, but I also saw the strength that was being forged in the heat of the battle. You felt like you were being punished, but you were actually being trained. A soldier is not made in the classroom. A soldier is made in the trench. I have been using the friction of your life to polish you until you reflect my glory. The enemy meant for this storm to drown you, but I have used it to wash away the old layers of self-doubt and fear that were holding you back. Every lightning bolt that struck near you was a reminder that you are standing on holy ground, and that the ground beneath you is unshakable because it is built on my word. I want you to understand that the spiritual warfare you have been experiencing is a direct response to the yes you whispered to me in your heart. The moment you decided to trust me, the moment you chose to seek a higher path, you became a target for every force that hates the light. But do not fear the battle, for the outcome has already been decided in the heavens. I don't always deliver you from the fire. Sometimes I take you through the fire to make you fireproof. Is it a greater testimony that I kept you out of the furnace, or that I walked beside you in the flames, and not even the smell of smoke remained on your clothes? You are coming out of this season with a resilience that cannot be taught in times of ease. You are developing a spiritual authority that only comes through endurance. The storm was the classroom, and you are about to graduate into a season of unprecedented authority and peace. The pressure you have felt lately is not meant to crush you. It is meant to squeeze out the wine of your destiny. Think of the olive. It must be crushed to produce the oil. Think of the grape. It must be pressed to produce the wine. You are in the divine press. And what is coming out of you right now is a level of maturity, character, and hope that will sustain you for decades to come. The enemy thought he was breaking you, but he was only helping me prepare you. You are being aligned with a purpose that is far greater than your current comfort. Stop looking at the waves and start looking at the one who walks upon them. The storm has served its purpose. It has revealed what is true and what is temporary in your life. Now, as the winds begin to die down, you will find yourself standing stronger, wiser, and more radiant than ever before. The storm did not win. It only proved that you are mine. My child, have you ever wondered why you feel so out of place in this world? Have you ever questioned why the things that satisfy others leave you feeling empty and longing for something more? It is because you were never meant to blend in. I did not design you to be a mere echo of the crowd or a shadow in the background of someone else's story. I have set you apart. You are my chosen one, a masterpiece specifically crafted for this exact moment in history. The reason you have faced more resistance than those around you is that your path is not a common road. It is a royal highway. You have been chosen for a specific purpose that requires a specific kind of preparation. The isolation you felt was my way of keeping you for myself, ensuring that your heart would be tuned to the frequency of my voice rather than the noise of the world. You are not a mistake of nature or a victim of circumstance. You are a strategic placement of my divine will. Do you not know who you are? Listen to what I have spoken over your life from the beginning of time. You are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, my very own possession. I have called you out of the darkness of your past and the shadows of your doubt into my marvelous light. You are royalty, not because of what you have done, but because of whose you are. I have placed a crown of favor upon your head that no human hand can remove. You are a priest, a bridge between my heart and a hurting world. The holiness I have called you to is not a list of rules, but a separation for my specific use. I am using your life as a living testimony to show the world what happens when I take the broken and make them whole. Your identity is fixed in me, unshakable and eternal. You are my beloved, and in you I am well pleased. If this truth has pierced your heart and confirmed your royal identity, I invite you to seal this revelation with an act of gratitude. Look for the Super Thanks option to sow a seed into this ministry today. By doing so, you are not merely supporting a channel. You are partnering with the kingdom to ensure this light reaches other chosen ones who are still lost in the dark. Let your giving be a tangible declaration of the abundance you are ready to receive. A royal heart is a generous heart. And as you pour out, watch how I pour back into you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Understand this, my precious one. I do not give big assignments to small people. The magnitude of your struggle is the only indicator you need to measure the magnitude of your destiny. If the battle is fierce, it is because the territory you are about to take is vast. You are being trained to handle the weight of glory. A chosen vessel must be forged in a hotter fire because it must hold a more precious wine. Every trial you have endured has been an entrance exam for the next level of my favor. You have passed the tests of patience, of loyalty, and of endurance in the hidden seasons. Now, I am bringing you into the light. The scars you carry are not marks of shame. They are your credentials. They prove that you have been through the fire and emerged as pure gold. You are not just a survivor. You are a victor, chosen and appointed to bear fruit that will last forever. Stop looking at yourself through the lens of your past failures or the opinions of those who do not know my heart. I see you as you were meant to be. I see the leader within the follower, the teacher within the student, and the lion within the lamb. You are being transformed into the image of my glory, from one degree of strength to the next. The world may call you too much or not enough, but I call you exactly right. I am aligning your steps with the ancient paths I prepared for you before the world began. Walk with your head held high, my child. For you are royalty in my kingdom. The identity I am breathing into you today is your shield and your sword. Go forth knowing that you are favored, you are protected, and above all, you are chosen. Stop trying to impress me with your vocabulary or your polished religious phrases. I am your father, not a judge waiting to critique your grammar or your posture. I have seen you struggle to find the right words, fearing that if you weren't holy enough or eloquent enough, I would not listen. But I tell you, your raw silence is more eloquent than 1,000 empty rituals. I do not want the version of you that is dressed up for Sunday. I want the version of you that is breaking down on a Tuesday night in the middle of the kitchen floor. I want the unedited and honest cry of your heart. When you try to hide your pain behind religious masks, you build a wall between us that I never intended to be there. Tear down that wall. If you are angry, tell me. If you are confused, ask me. If you are hurting, show me the depth of the wound. Your honesty is the only key that fits the lock of my mercy. I do not need your perfection. I only need your presence. Do not scream into the void as if I am a distant star millions of miles away. I am as close as the very air in your lungs. I invite you to trust in me at all times, to pour out your heart before me like water being emptied from a vessel. A vessel cannot be filled with new wine if it is still full of old, stagnant water. You have been holding in your bitterness, your resentment, and your fears, thinking that if you let them out, they might overwhelm you or offend me. But I can handle your storm. Pour it all out, the messy thoughts, the doubts that keep you awake. the questions that feel like thorns in your side. When you empty your heart of the darkness, you create the sacred space I need to fill you with my peace and my light. This is the art of raw prayer. It is not a performance for an audience, but a deep, visceral conversation between a child and a father who already knows the ending of the story. I have heard the prayers you were too afraid to say out loud. I heard the why that you whispered when you thought no one was listening. I saw the tears that fell on your pillow, which were prayers in their own right, speaking a language that needs no translation. Every time you groan in spirit because you have no words left, my spirit is there, translating those groans into the language of the heavens. You do not need a script to talk to the one who created your voice. You only need a willing and broken heart. When you are real with me, I can be real with you. I can move the mountains you've been complaining about once you stop trying to climb them in your own strength and simply admit that you are tired. Your vulnerability is not a weakness. In my kingdom, it is your greatest strength. It is at the moment you stop pretending that I can begin performing the miracle you've been seeking for so long. Come to me now, not as a beggar at a gate, but as a child in a home. Bring the pieces of your broken dreams and the fragments of your failed attempts. Lay them at my feet and stay there until the noise of the world is replaced by the rhythm of my grace. I am not looking for a perfect prayer. I am looking for a perfect trust. This is the shift you have been waiting for. When you stop praying to a distant idea and start talking to a present love, the atmosphere of your life begins to change immediately. The heaviness lifts, the clarity returns, and you will find that the void you were shouting into was never empty at all. I have been right here, leaning in, waiting for you to simply be yourself. Trust me enough to be honest. For my love for you is not based on your performance, but on your soul, my precious child. I know how the waiting room of life feels to you. It feels like a prison, like a season of suspended animation where time is moving for everyone else, but standing still for you. You look out the window and see others receiving their breakthroughs, celebrating their victories, and building their dreams, while you remain stuck in a cycle of not yet and not now. You have felt the frustration of unanswered letters and the silence of a phone that does not ring with the news you so desperately need. But I want to whisper a secret into your heart today. This is not a period of stagnation. It is a season of divine incubation. Just as a seed must remain in the dark, silent earth before it can ever break through the surface to reach the sun, you are currently being held in my secret place so that you can grow in ways that would be impossible in the direct sunlight of public success. This waiting is not a punishment for your past mistakes, nor is it my way of ignoring your cries. It is the sacred work of preparation. I am not slow in keeping my promises, but I am thorough. I am working behind the scenes of your life, moving pieces of a puzzle you cannot see, aligning resources you haven't encountered yet, and softening hearts you haven't met yet. Every single day that you wait with faith, even when that faith is as small as a mustard seed, is a day I am strengthening your inner man and building the resilience you will need for the altitude I am calling you to reach. Consider the great trees of the forest, the ones that stand for centuries and survive the fiercest hurricanes. They do not grow tall overnight. Before a single branch reaches toward the heavens, the roots must tunnel deep into the dark, cold soil. They must push through the rocks and the hard clay to find the hidden springs of water that will sustain them during the years of drought. This is what I am doing with you right now, my beloved. I am pushing your roots deep into the bedrock of my word and my presence. If I gave you the height you desire, the influence, the wealth, the recognition, without giving you the depth you need, The very first storm of success would topple you. I love you too much to let you be destroyed by the very blessing you prayed for. This waiting is the art of deep rooting. It is the invisible, exhausting, and often lonely work that makes the visible victory sustainable. You feel like you are being buried under the weight of your circumstances. But I tell you, you are actually being planted. The darkness around you is not the darkness of the grave. It is the darkness of the womb. Something powerful, something holy, and something magnificent is being formed in the secret places of your soul. And it cannot be rushed. I am the Lord, and I long to be gracious to you. I am rising up even now to show you compassion, but I am a God of perfect timing and divine order. I am waiting for the exact moment when your internal capacity matches your external calling. Real blessings are heavy, and they require strong shoulders and a steady spirit to carry them without losing your way. If I gave you the relationship you seek before you learn to find your wholeness in me, that relationship would become an idol that breaks your heart. If I gave you the abundance you ask for before you learn to be a good steward of the little, that abundance would become a trap that steals your peace. I am using this incubation to expand your capacity. I am enlarging your heart so that it can hold more joy, more peace, and more love than you ever thought possible. I am washing away the impurities of pride and self-reliance in the quiet of this season, replacing them with a trust that cannot be shaken by the opinions of men. I know the right time, and I promise you that I am never a second too late. When the door finally swings wide open, and it will, you will not just walk through it. You will have the character and the wisdom to stay in the room I have prepared for you. Trust my timing, my precious one, for my clock is not governed by the calendars of this world. If it hasn't happened yet, then it hasn't been the right time, and the right time is always the best time because it is my time. I am getting you prepared to handle the weight of the blessing that is coming your way. It is going to be a big blessing, a cup overflows kind of blessing, one that will surprise those who counted you out and astonish those who watched you struggle. But such a reward requires a greater maturity and a greater character than you possessed even a year ago. Facing these difficulties, navigating these delays, and solving these problems in the quiet is the way I prepare you for the public stage. You are passing the test of endurance. You are showing me your faithfulness in the small, hidden moments when no one is watching but me. I see your strength, even when you feel weak as water. I see your growth, even when you feel like you're standing still. The incubation is almost complete, and the shell of your current limitation is about to crack. When you emerge, you will not be the same person who entered this season. You will be a vessel of honor, gleaming with the gold of a heart that learned to trust in the dark. Your season of hiddenness is coming to an end, and your season of harvest is beginning to dawn. I have seen you walking through the long, dark corridors of the Valley of Shadows. I saw the way you glanced over your shoulder, feeling the cold breath of fear on your neck, wondering if you would ever see the sunlight again. The walls of this valley feel high and jagged, closing in on you, making you feel small and forgotten. You have walked this path for so long that you have begun to believe that the darkness is your permanent home. But my child, look closely at the ground beneath your feet. Even in the deepest valley, there is no shadow without a light shining from somewhere above. I am that light, and I have never once flickered or faded. I have watched you navigate the jagged rocks of anxiety and the slippery slopes of depression, and I want you to know that though you walk through the valley, you are not meant to stay there. This is a passage, not a destination. You are moving toward a horizon that the enemy is desperately trying to hide from your sight. Do not let the darkness deceive your spirit, for I need you to understand the nature of a shadow. A shadow of a dog cannot bite you, A shadow of a lion has no claws to tear your flesh. A shadow of a mountain has no weight to crush you. The enemies that have been haunting your mind, the fear of lack, the shadow of sickness, the ghost of your past failures, they are nothing but shadows cast by the light of my glory, hitting the obstacles in your path. They look immense, they look terrifying, and they stretch across your future like giants, but they have no substance. They cannot touch your soul because your soul is hidden in me. I am the rod that stands between you and the wolves of the world. I am the staff that gently nudges you back to the path when you wander into the brush of despair. While the enemy tries to magnify the darkness, I am magnifying my presence. You are protected by a force that the darkness cannot comprehend and certainly cannot overcome. Peace is not the absence of the shadow. It is the presence of the shepherd. I have seen the nights where the shadow of death or the shadow of loss seemed to sit on the edge of your bed, whispering that it was all over. I heard your heart pounding against your ribs like a trapped bird, terrified of what the morning might bring. In those moments of pure, unadulterated fear, I was the invisible blanket wrapped around you. I was the silent whisper in your spirit that said, "Peace, be still," even when your mind could not find rest. You are more than just a survivor of this valley. You are becoming a conqueror of the very fear that the valley produces. I am using this season to teach you the most valuable lesson of the Spirit: how to walk by faith and not by sight. When the fog is so thick you can no longer see the path ahead, you must learn to feel the warmth of my hand in yours. When the echoes of the world tell you that you are lost and forgotten, you must listen for the gentle whistle of the shepherd calling you home. The rod of my authority is your protection against every spiritual predator, and the staff of my grace is your comfort when your legs grow weary. You are not alone, you are not unprotected, and the shadows that have been barking at your heels are about to be swallowed up by the rising sun of my favor. Walk on, my brave and precious one. The exit is closer than you think, and the light on the other side is more brilliant than anything you have ever imagined. My precious one, look up from the dust of the battlefield and see what I am doing for you. While you were focused on the arrows flying past your head and the voices shouting for your downfall, I have been quietly and meticulously preparing a feast. Right in the center of the conflict, in the very place where your enemies said you would never rise again, I am laying out a table covered in the finest linens of my grace. I am not taking you away from the battle to feed you. I am feeding you in the middle of it, to show the world that your sustenance comes from a source they cannot block. I am preparing a banquet of victory, where the aroma of my favor will drown out the stench of the struggle. This is the moment of divine irony. Those who gathered to witness your defeat will now be forced to sit as spectators of your exaltation. They will watch you eat the bread of life, while they are hungry for the chaos they tried to create. I have seen the faces of those who mocked your faith and the hearts of those who whispered that you had finally reached your limit. I heard the calculations of those who thought they had successfully boxed you in, but they forgot one thing. I am the God of the breakthrough, and I specialize in making a way where there is no way. Your enemies, whether they be people who betrayed you, the spirit of lack that haunted your home, or the voices of depression that told you that you were worthless, will have to stand in silence as I anoint your head with the oil of my favor. They expected you to wither in the desert, but they will watch you thrive. They expected you to go under, but they will watch you walk on water. I am making your life a sign and a wonder, a living testimony that what I have blessed, no man can curse. The very ground they thought would be your grave is becoming the site of your greatest celebration. Do not look at the spears in their hands. Look at the cup in mine. I am filling your cup until it overflows, splashing my goodness into every area of your life that has felt dry and empty. This banquet is my way of vindicating you, without you having to say a single word in your own defense. You do not need to fight for your reputation or struggle for your seat at the table. I have already reserved your place, and my name is on the invitation. As you sit and partake of my peace, my joy, and my strength, you will find that the hunger for revenge and the thirst for validation have vanished. You will be so satisfied by my presence that the opinions of your critics will seem like distant, meaningless noise. I am transforming your season of survival into a season of surplus. You are moving from the crumbs of just enough to the feast of more than enough. Eat and be satisfied, my child. This victory is not a temporary relief. It is a permanent shift in your status. You are no longer the one begging for a miracle. You are the one sitting at the king's table as an heir to the kingdom. I am bringing a public resolution to your private pain. The world has seen your struggle, but now they are about to see my glory reflected in your smile. Rest your weary hands and let me serve you. Let the oil of my spirit run down your face, healing every scar and erasing every trace of the trauma you've endured. The battle hasn't stopped you. It has only served to increase your appetite for the greatness I have prepared for you. The banquet has begun, and your enemies are powerless to stop the feast I have set before you. My child, I have heard the silent calculations of your heart. I have seen you sitting at your table late at night, staring at numbers that do not seem to add up, feeling the cold weight of lack pressing against your chest. I have seen the anxiety that rises when the mailbox opens and the fear that grips you when you think about the future of your household. You have lived in a season of barely enough for so long that you have forgotten the language of abundance. You have learned to shrink your dreams to fit your bank account, and you have learned to hold your breath every time you make a purchase. But I am the God who owns the cattle on 1,000 hills, and the silver and the gold are mine. I did not create you to live in a state of perpetual survival, trapped by the chains of debt and the shadows of poverty. Today, I am breaking the spirit of lack that has haunted your lineage. I am shifting the atmosphere of your finances from the drought of the desert to the overflow of my heavenly storehouses. I am anointing your head with the oil of my favor, and as I do, watch your cup begin to tremble with the weight of what I am pouring. You have asked for a drop, but I am preparing a flood. This is not merely about currency. It is about the divine flow of my provision that touches every corner of your life. I am opening doors of opportunity that have been rusted shut for generations. I am bringing people into your path who carry the keys to your next level of prosperity. You will begin to see ideas, inventions, and strategies drop into your spirit during the quiet hours of the morning. Wealth that is not earned by the sweat of your brow alone, but by the grace of my hand. The cup of your life is being enlarged to hold more than you ever thought possible. I am not just giving you enough to pay your bills, I am giving you enough to be a blessing to the nations. You are moving from the position of the borrower to the position of the lender, for I am making you the head and not the tail. The oil I am pouring over you right now is a seal of protection over your resources. What the locust has eaten, I am restoring. Where there was a leak in your storehouse, I am sealing it with my glory. You will find that your money begins to go further than it ever has before, and unexpected provisions will start to appear from sources you never considered. Do not be afraid of the how, and do not lean on your own understanding of the economy of this world. My economy is not governed by the fluctuations of the market or the decisions of men. My economy is governed by my love for you. I say you are well supplied, so do not agree with the lie of lack. I say you are prosperous, so do not agree with the spirit of poverty. As you honor me with what you have, I will open the windows of heaven and pour out a blessing so great that you will not have room enough to receive it. This is your season of the overflow. The dryness is over. The season of wondering if there will be enough for tomorrow is coming to a sudden and miraculous end. I am filling your barns. I am replenishing your oil. And I am making sure that your children's children will eat from the fruit of the seeds you are sowing in faith today. Believe that I am a rewarder of those who diligently seek me. The cup is not just full, it is running over. It is spilling into your health, into your relationships, and into your peace of mind. Receive this anointing now. Let the fear of not having enough wash away in the river of my surplus. I am your provider, your Jireh, and I have already seen to it that every need of yours is met according to my riches and glory. Your harvest is no longer a distant promise. It is a present reality. My child, I have seen the moments when you felt like a vessel shattered into 1,000 jagged pieces on the cold, hard floor of life. I saw when the betrayal, the loss, and the sudden storms hit you so hard that you felt there was nothing left to save. You looked at the fragments of your heart and thought, "This is beyond repair. I am too broken to ever be useful again." You tried to hide the cracks, fearing that if the world saw the real you, they would only see your flaws and your fragility. You felt like damaged goods, discarded and forgotten in the corner of existence. But I want you to know that I am the master potter, and my eyes do not see garbage when I look at your brokenness. I see the raw material for a masterpiece. I have been carefully gathering every shard, every splinter of your spirit that you thought was lost. Not one piece of you is missing from my workshop. I have been holding your life in my hands, even when you felt like you were slipping through the fingers of fate. In the lands of the East, there is an ancient art called kintsugi, where broken pottery is not thrown away, but repaired with precious liquid gold. The craftsmen believe that the break and the repair are a vital part of the history of the object, making it far more valuable than it was when it was brand new. This is exactly what I'm doing with your soul right now. I am not simply gluing you back together so you can look like you did before the trauma occurred. I am filling your cracks with the gold of my glory, my wisdom, and my healing power. Your scars are not your shame. They are your credentials. They are the visible, radiant proof that you survived what was meant to destroy you. When people look at you now, they will not see a victim. They will see a victor whose light shines most brilliantly through the very places where they were once broken. You are more beautiful, more resilient, and more precious to me now because of the history we have written together through the pain. Do not try to hide your scars any longer, for they are the roadmap of my faithfulness. Every line of gold in your spirit tells a story of a night where I held you, a battle where I fought for you, and a valley where I carried you when you could no longer walk. You used to think that your value was in your perfection, but I tell you, your true value is found in your redemption. A vessel that has never been broken knows nothing of the potter's hands, but you know the touch of my fingers intimately. You know the warmth of my breath as I reshape you into something new. I am turning your trauma into your testimony. I am turning your mourning into a dance of grace that will inspire others who are still in their brokenness. You are not a broken person. You are a kintsugi soul, a work of art that reflects my light in ways a perfect, untouched vessel never could. Walk in your new strength, my beloved. For the gold I have poured into you is unshakable and eternal. It is a strength that was forged in the fire and refined in the furnace of affliction. You no longer have to fear the breaking, for you know the one who restores. You no longer have to fear the cracks, for that is where the light gets in. I have made you whole, I have made you holy, and you are breathtakingly beautiful in my sight. The world may see the lines of the repair, but I see the glory of the restoration. You are my masterpiece, and your story of survival will be a lighthouse for generations to come. Rest in the knowledge that your brokenness was only the beginning of your greatest beauty. My beloved, I want you to listen with your spirit, for the atmosphere around you is thick with the fragrance of change. You have been waiting for a season to end, and I am here to tell you that the hands of the divine clock are turning in your favor at this very moment. I am announcing a window of divine acceleration. Within the next 7 days, I want you to be alert and expectant, for I am going to send you signs that I am moving on your behalf. This is not a coincidence, and it is not a trick of the mind. It is the physical manifestation of the spiritual work we have been doing in the secret place. Watch for the unusual. Watch for the sudden shift. I am setting in motion a series of events that will prove to you that I have heard every whisper and seen every tear. The period of nothing happening is being replaced by a period of suddenlies. During these next 7 days, pay close attention to the things that happen outside of your normal routine. I am orchestrating a specific connection, perhaps a call from someone you haven't heard from in years, or a message that provides the exact answer you've been seeking. I am moving in the hearts of people you don't even know yet to favor you. You may see a document signed, a legal knot untied, or a financial notification that provides a bridge over your current struggle. Do not dismiss these as luck. When these things happen, I want you to stop and whisper my name, acknowledging that I am the one opening the windows of heaven for you. A door that you thought was locked, barred, and bolted shut will begin to swing wide open. Not by your might or by your power, but by my spirit. This 7-day window is a season of completion. For just as I created the world in 6 days and rested on the 7th, I am bringing a cycle of lack and frustration in your life to its finished state. You are crossing over a threshold. You might feel a sudden urge to go somewhere, to speak to someone, or to settle a matter you've been avoiding. Follow that nudge, for it is the Holy Spirit guiding your steps into the path of your breakthrough. I am not a God of confusion, but a God of order and timing. I know you have felt that time was running out, but I am the creator of time, and I am stretching it to serve your destiny. The breakthrough that you thought would take years is about to be compressed into days. The mountain that took a lifetime to build will be leveled in a moment of my favor. Stay in a posture of radical gratitude during this week. Walk like someone who already knows the victory is won. Speak like someone who is already seated at the banquet. The shadows are retreating, and the first light of your new dawn is appearing on the horizon. Watch and see, my child, for I am about to do something in your days that you would not believe, even if you were told. My precious child, do you realize that you have never walked a single inch of this journey by yourself? Even in the moments when you felt like a ghost in your own life, wandering through crowds that didn't see you or sitting in rooms that felt like tombs, there was a presence closer to you than your own skin. I have sent my Spirit, the Comforter, to be your eternal companion. He is the quiet whisper that tells you to keep going when your legs are shaking and your heart is heavy. He is the sudden, inexplicable warmth you feel in a cold room when the weight of the world feels unbearable. You have been looking for outside validation, for human hands to hold, and for earthly voices to guide you. But the greatest power in the universe has already taken up residence within the temple of your heart. The Holy Spirit is not a distant influence or a vague energy. He is my very breath living inside of you, translating your silent sighs into songs of victory. He is your advocate when the world accuses you, your counselor when the path is confused, and your strength when you are completely spent. You are never, ever alone. I am calling you today to be strong and courageous, not because your circumstances have changed yet, but because I am the one who goes with you. Do not be terrified of the giants in your land or the mountains that loom over your future with such intimidating shadows. The Lord your God goes with you. I will never leave you, and I will never, ever forsake you. This is my blood covenant promise, signed in the heavens and sealed in your soul. When you enter a room, the Spirit of the living God enters with you. When you speak, my authority backs your words. When you sleep, my Spirit stands guard over your subconscious, protecting your dreams from the thief. You are a walking sanctuary, a vessel of the divine. Courage is not the absence of the fear you feel. It is the realization that the one inside of you is infinitely greater than anything standing in front of you. Stop trying to find your strength in your own fleeting emotions or in the shifting sands of your situation. Find your strength in the eternal companion who is the same yesterday, today, and forever. He is the fire that will not be quenched and the river that will not run dry. I want you to lean into this companionship today, as if your very life depends on it. Because it does. Talk to my Spirit as you walk, as you work, and as you weep. He is the Spirit of truth who leads you into all revelation, showing you the hidden traps before you fall and revealing the secret treasures I have buried in your path. When the world tries to lie to you about your worth, He is the one who whispers the truth of your royalty into your ear. When the enemy tries to tell you that your story is finished, He will show you the radiant new beginning I have already prepared for you. You are being led by a divine hand that never slips. Trust the nudges, the quiet impressions, and the sudden peace that passes all understanding. This relationship is your lifeline, the secret of the saints and the power of the overcomers. You are part of a divine partnership that cannot be broken by death or life, by angels or demons. You are carrying heaven within you, and because of that, you are unstoppable. My Spirit is your seal, your mark of ownership, and your guarantee of the glory that is about to be revealed. My beloved child, as we come to the final words of this letter, I want you to feel the warmth of my embrace wrapping around your very soul. This is not a conclusion, it is an invitation. This letter was not meant to be just a momentary comfort, but a permanent dwelling place for your heart. You have spent so much of your life feeling like a stranger in a foreign land, searching for a home that doesn't crumble and a love that doesn't fade. I want you to know that your search is over. Your home is not a place, a building, or a person on this earth. Your home is in my heart. You are my beloved, the apple of my eye, and the treasure I have sought since before the foundations of the world were laid. Every word I have whispered to you today is a seed that I have planted in the fertile soil of your spirit. Do not let the birds of doubt or the thorns of worry steal what I have given you. Hold these promises close to you, for they are the bread that will sustain you and the light that will guide you through every remaining shadow of your journey. Walk with me now, not as a servant, but as a child who is deeply, infinitely cherished. You are my masterpiece, a work of art that I am still painting with the vibrant colors of my grace. I see the finished version of you, the one who is radiant, powerful, and completely whole, even while you are still feeling the sting of the process. I am the master potter, and I have filled your cracks with gold so that you can shine more brightly than you ever could have before the breaking. Your life is a story of survival, of redemption, and of a love that refused to let you go. This letter is not the end of our conversation. It is the opening of a new chapter where you and I walk together in perfect step. I want you to rest in me tonight. Lay down the heavy armor you have been wearing to protect yourself from the world. You don't have to defend yourself when the King of Kings is your shield. You don't have to prove your worth when the Creator of the universe has already called you worthy. Just be my child. Just breathe in my peace and let the silence of my presence quiet the noise of your fears. I love you with an everlasting love, a love that saw your mistakes and loved you anyway, a love that saw your potential and called it forth. The miracle I have promised you is not just on the way, it is activating in your life at this very second. The gears of heaven are turning, and the atmosphere of your reality is shifting to accommodate the blessing I am pouring out. Do not stay silent in this holy moment of transition. If you are ready to step into the fullness of what I have prepared, and if you are ready to claim the peace, the healing, and the abundance that is your birthright, then seal this prophecy right now with an act of faith. Type "I receive" in the comments to activate this miracle in your life and lock this blessing into your destiny forever. By doing so, you are signaling to the heavens and the earth that you have accepted my word and that you are moving forward as a new creation. This is your moment of amen, the final seal on a divine decree that cannot be revoked. Let the world see your faith, and let your spirit soar with the knowledge that it is done. It is finished. The breakthrough is yours. But my child, do not be a reservoir that only holds my blessings. Be a vessel that pours them out. There is someone in your life, or perhaps someone you haven't even met yet, who is currently sitting in the same darkness you just escaped. They are waiting for a sign, a word, or a glimmer of hope, just as you were. I am calling you to be my messenger. Share this message with at least one person, or three, or many, who needs to hear my voice today. When you make a sacrifice to help others' dreams come to pass, I will make sure your own dreams are fulfilled beyond your wildest imagination. Be the light that leads someone else back to my heart. As you spread this love, you will find that your own portion of joy and peace multiplies. You are part of a divine family, a kingdom of light that is growing stronger with every soul that hears my call. Do not let this letter end with you. Let it be the beginning of a movement of restoration and hope that touches everyone you encounter. Welcome home, my precious one. You are no longer an orphan of the world. You are an heir to the kingdom. Your journey of healing, prosperity, and purpose has just begun, and I will be with you every single step of the way. I will never leave you. I will never forsake you, and I will never stop loving you. Before you go, I want to make sure we stay connected, for I have so much more to tell you in the days to come. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, and hit the bell icon to stay in my light and ensure you never miss a message from my heart to yours. This is your safe haven, your spiritual family, and your constant reminder that you are never alone. Go forth in my strength, rest in my peace, and walk in my favor. You are my beloved, and I am yours, now and for all eternity. It is done. Amen.